Hi everybody, it's Laura from Green Tree, and today we're talking about bars, and that's the snack kind, like you would carry around with you as an emergency treat or for energy when you're out hiking, camping, etc. So there's a few different kinds, and I'm going to kind of explain the differences between them and why you might choose one over another at a given point in your day. So first things first, is going to depend on whether you're looking for a bar that is going to make you feel full or whether you're looking for a bar that is going to give you energy. And you're going to want different things depending on what you are in the mood for. So first thing to know is there's really three things that make you feel full and stay full for a period of time. The first one is straight up volume. If you eat a volume of food, you will feel hungry, or you will not feel hungry again until that volume of food has passed through your digestive system. So volume is something that you really can't get from a snack bar. I mean, most of these guys are pretty small. They're hand sized. They're meant to be a convenient little take with you kind of food. So volume being out of the picture for the bar itself, one way that you can get that component when you're looking for fullness is to drink water with your bars. That will help you stay hydrated, and honestly, if you can keep water with you as you're out and about, whether you are running, jumping, or going just to the store, it's going to help you feel better throughout the day anyway. So if you're looking for the volume when you want to feel full, try drinking water with your bars. Now, two things that the bars can give you is protein and fiber. Protein, like you're going to see in something like this turkey bar, helps you feel satiated, so it helps you feel satisfied, and it sticks with you for a bit longer than something that doesn't have protein. Fiber, which you're going to find in something, let's see, this would be an example of a bar that's going to have some fiber. Fiber slowly moves through your digestive system, so it's going to stay in there a bit longer, and so you're not going to end up moving through the food quite as quickly, and that again will keep you feeling full for longer. So, depends on what you're looking for. Now, a lot of people are familiar with the classic Clif Bar. These come in a bunch of different flavors. It's a very cool family-run company. You can see it's got a little guy on here. Although it's not named a Clif Bar because of the cliff, it's actually named after a gentleman named Clifford. But these are what I would call an energy bar. They are carbohydrates, fiber, sugar, and they are meant to give you a quick hit of very digestible calories that are going to keep you going when you're in sort of a high exertion situation. They're going to bring your blood sugar up faster than some of these other types of bars. But, you know, if you want to go ahead and do some climbing, mountain biking, long distance running, these are the kind of bar you want. You want an energy bar. Now, sometimes that's not what you're looking for. You are, like I said, looking for a snack that's going to make you feel full and stick with you for longer. This is going to have quite a bit of sugar, like I said, so it's going to be something that hits your system fast but also gets digested and moves through fast. If you want something to stick with you a bit longer, there's kind of a few steps up you can go through in terms of not getting that quick hit of energy but feeling satiated throughout the day. So the next thing you're going to come to is bars like the gluten-free bar, which is going to be, you'll see, a bit higher protein, which the Clif Bar also has quite a bit of protein, but this isn't going to have quite as much sugar in it. I think it's almost half. Let's see. So we've got 29 grams of carbs in this guy, and I believe it's 40 something in this guy. Let's see. 44. So there's 44 grams of carbs here, and you've only got the 29 here. So you can see you're not going to get quite as much of that sugar if you're worried about the blood sugar going up and the glucose levels. This is still going to be a sweet, tasty bar, but it's not going to hit you quite like a Clif Bar will. And the source of protein is vegan because it's coming from the cashews, it's coming from coconut, it's coming from plant sources. So this is a good one to choose if you don't want to do any animal products in your bars. Plus it's gluten-free, which is a bonus for a lot of people. Larabars would be a similar type of bar. There's still a fair amount of sugar in these, but you can see it's nice and compact, and most of the protein is coming from nuts. You're also getting quite a bit of fiber because the only sweetener that's in these is dates. This is a very natural bar, and it's also quite soft, so So this is good for people who have trouble with things like a kind bar, where you're chewing the nuts and they're getting caught in your teeth or caught in your throat. So you're going to kind of want to choose which one based on what you like taste-wise as well as what you want nutritionally. So a Larabar, like I said, is very smooth and soft, whereas a kind bar, you can see, if I can get it to focus on this, has all of these larger pieces of nuts and coconuts in it. So it's got that pleasant chew and crunch to it, but it can be a little bit harder if you're somebody who gets things kind of stuck in your teeth and has to go about the rest of your day. So these are also kind of in the middle. They've got more fat in them, which helps them stick with you and helps you feel full, but it also is a higher calorie for the size of the snack. Now the next thing up is bars that are going to have less sugar to that amount of fiber and protein. A lot of these are going to have animal products in them once you're starting to get into the heavy protein bar category. And protein bars are more about fueling your muscles and staying full than they are about that quick hit that you get from the carbohydrates. So an example would be one of these little guys. They're called RX bars. A lot of people say prescription bars, but they, you can see, have egg whites in them in addition to the typical nuts and the date sweeteners that you would find in something like a Larabar. So these guys are going to have more of that protein, and eggs are actually one of the foods that they found help you keep feeling full for a longer time than other foods. So this is a bar that is intended to tide you over until you get a chance to actually eat something. So you can see they're not a large bar. The actual volume of the bar isn't big, but especially if you eat this with a glass of water or a bottle of water, it's really going to stick with you longer than some of the sweeter bar options. And it still has a pretty nice soft texture similar to a Larabar. Now another example of a bar of this type is a Primal Kitchen bar. Now these guys have a smooth texture too, but with some little chunks. I cut one up so you can see it. So you can see they have some little bits of whole nuts and stuff in there to give you a bit of texture differentiation, which is nice. And it comes in chocolate, which is also nice. But this one contains collagen. So this is what I would call more of a functional bar, like the RX bar, where it's intended to give you some other health boost beyond just filling you up for a minute. But it is an animal-based collagen, so this is not a good choice if you're vegan or vegetarian. Then we have things like the Raw Revolution bar, and these are kind of trying to blend those multiple different approaches. Sorry, somebody just went by the table, that's why I was wiggling for a minute there. These are kind of blending the different approaches. So these are actually vegan, but they are, if I can show you here, they are high in protein and fiber. So these are intended to fill you up, even though they're relatively small, because they have that satiating protein and they have the fiber that moves through your digestive system slowly. It'll stick with you longer than a high carb bar, which is meant for those more intense bursts of activity. It also has the bonus of being quite a bit lower in sugar. This one only has 2 grams of sugar compared to some of the others that are up in the double digits. So this is a nice handy one. It's also a nice smooth texture, so you're not going to have that issue with it getting stuck in your teeth or making you cough if you're a person that has a hard time with whole nuts. And finally, if you really can't do the sugar, there's still a very handy bar option, so long as you're not going vegan or vegetarian. And that would be the Epic bars. So these are made from different meats, different animal proteins. This one happens to be turkey. They also make bison and venison and boar. There's a variety of them. But these bars, you can see, look a lot like a granola bar, or a cross kind of between a granola bar and a jerky. Ooh, we had a little bit of a focus issue there for a second. But they're softer than jerky, so they're a lot easier to take around with you because they typically have, so this one has cranberries and almonds mixed with the turkey, but there's not very much sugar and there's a lot of protein. The fiber content kind of varies from bar to bar, but they have that satiating factor of the meat that is going to stick with you, and like the others, they're easy to carry around, handy to have. So my experience is that you want to have something like this with you when you're out and around, regardless of what brand you go for. Oh, so we've got a testimonial for the Glow peanut butter bars. Well, this isn't the chocolate chunk one, this is the classic, but anytime you add chocolate to a bar, I'm more inclined to enjoy it. But Susan says, try these little Raw Revolution bars. But anyway, if you carry these around with you, you don't run the risk of getting that foggy, difficult to focus, or hangry, depending on how you deal with needing food. So that's kind of my little primer on the different types of bars and why you might look for different ones. And of course, what it really comes down to is, will you eat it? So if you get a bar like one of these guys, it's got the great ratio of the fiber and the protein, but you're just a person with a sweet tooth, and now you're sitting there and you're just leaving these in your bag and going and getting an ice cream cone, you might be better off going for one of the higher carb options, like the delicious Cliff Bars, because that's what you're actually going to eat. The key is just to know what you need for your physiology, whether you're a person that needs that lift in blood sugar, whether you need the protein because you know you're not actually going to get a chance to have a meal for 3 or 4 hours. So look through your options. I'm going to sample some of these today. I'll be doing that probably till about 6. If you want to come down and try some, feel free. And if you ever have questions about the bars, or if there's some you'd love to see us carry, let us know. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a great Tuesday. Bye, everybody.